Welcome to our channel, Hive of Knowledge, where we dive deep into the world's most powerful books and ideas.
You ever have one of those days, you're running around, putting out fires, checking things off a list, but when your head hits the pillow, you feel like you got absolutely nothing done? Yeah, you're not alone. It feels like we're all trying to do way too much and, honestly, achieving way too little. Today, we're going to talk about a way to cut right through all that noise.
And this old Russian proverb, it just nails the problem perfectly. We're all out here chasing a dozen different rabbits. Our projects, our emails, all those notifications, our goals. And what happens? We end up tired and empty-handed. The secret isn't to run faster. It's to pick one rabbit and focus. So why are we all chasing so many rabbits in the first place? Well, it's because our whole idea of what it takes to be successful is kind of built on a foundation of lies. These are the things we all believe about productivity that are actually misleading us and just completely derailing our efforts. So let's start by tearing them down. Okay, here's lie number one, and it's a big one. We've been taught to think that having a gigantic to-do list is a sign of how important we are. Right? When everything feels urgent, we treat it like it's all equally important. This just makes us active. It makes us busy. But here's the thing. Activity is not the same as productivity. Being busy rarely takes care of actual business. Think about it. Your typical to-do list is probably working against you. It's just this long, messy directory of stuff that pulls you in a million different directions. It's basically a survival list, not a success list. It's just an inventory of every little demand on your time, with no real priority. This is exactly why we feel so busy but not productive. The real key is to shift from that chaotic to-do list to a focused, powerful success list. And this whole idea is backed by a really fundamental truth you've probably heard of, the 80-20 principle, also known as Pareto's principle. It basically says that a small minority of your efforts, we're talking like 20%, will lead to the vast majority of your results, so 80%. The takeaway is huge. In the world of success, things are not equal. The trick is to stop trying to do everything and instead get really good at finding that critical 20% of actions that will get you 80% of what you want. Which brings us neatly to the second giant lie, one that people wear like a badge of honor: multitasking. It's on job descriptions as a required skill. We tell ourselves it's the only way we can possibly get everything done. But, the actual science tells a very different story. I mean, check out this quote from a major Stanford study. The researchers actually went into it trying to prove how awesome multitaskers were, but they were absolutely shocked by what they found. The people who multitasked the most were actually worse at everything. They couldn't focus, they couldn't ignore irrelevant stuff, and they were even slower at switching between tasks. The conclusion was just brutal. Multitasking is a complete and total lie. So if we're not actually multitasking, what are we doing? It's called task switching. Think of a juggler. They're not holding all the balls at once. They're catching and throwing one at a time really, really fast. Every single time you switch tasks, your brain has to hit the brakes, dig up the rules for the new thing, and then restart. And that switch comes with a price, in lost time, in wasted energy, and in more mistakes. It's not efficient, and it's not effective, period. Okay, so if trying to do everything at once is a lie, and trying to do two things at once is also a lie, what's the truth? Well, the truth is actually much simpler, and it requires going in the complete opposite direction. It's time to talk about the incredible power of going small. This is the absolute perfect way to think about getting amazing results. You don't just walk up and knock over all the dominoes at once. No, you find the first one, the lead domino, and you pour all your energy into just tipping that one over. And we all know what happens next, a beautiful chain reaction. Going small. This is the core idea. It's about getting really, really good at ignoring the endless sea of things you could be doing and instead focusing like a laser on the one thing you absolutely should be doing. It's a disciplined way of finding what matters most, because here's the secret. Extraordinary results are determined by how narrow you can make your focus. And this is exactly how that domino effect plays out in our lives. See, big success doesn't just happen all at once. It's sequential. You do the right thing, then you do the next right thing. At first, it feels kind of linear, one domino after another. But over time, the momentum builds, and the results start to multiply. They actually become geometric. Success builds on success, and it can unleash this incredible potential you didn't even know you had. Now, this all sounds great, right? But there's one little problem. Life doesn't line up all the dominoes for us and then point and say, hey, start here.
we have to figure it out for ourselves. We have to find that one critical lead domino that's going to kick off the whole chain reaction. And to do that, we need a special tool.
And this is that tool. It's called the focusing question. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful question designed to slice through all the clutter and point you directly to your #1 priority. And the best part, it works for everything, from your huge big picture career goals right down to figuring out what you should do in the next 5 minutes. Let's break down why it's so powerful.
The magic of this question is in its structure. The first part, what's the one thing I can do, forces you to pick a single, concrete action, not just some vague idea. The second part, such that by doing it, makes you connect that one action to a specific result. But the third part, oh, that's where the real power is. Everything else will be easier or unnecessary. This sets an incredibly high bar. It forces you to find the true lead domino, the one thing that makes all the others fall down effortlessly.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's that all great success, every amazing chain reaction starts with you. When you get clear on your purpose, figure out your top priority, and focus all your energy on that one thing, the extraordinary starts to happen. You know what you need to do. The next step is simple. You just have to push. Because you are the first domino.
If you enjoyed this series, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Hive of Knowledge for more such videos. Thank you for watching.